I'm not holding myself down, but my powers have limits.
You're wrong. You think your power has limits. I say it's limitless.
Here's an unpopular opinion. Zaheer was right. But then again, maybe not. In a poll, we asked you which Korra villain you understand the most, and you overwhelmingly chose Zaheer by an earth-shattering 60%. But why is that? What makes this villain in particular so understandable? And what exactly does Zaheer mean when he says limitless? All these questions and more will be answered in today's Avatar debates. Was Zaheer actually right? But before we dive into any dangerous philosophy, we should probably start off by making it clear we do not condone the actions taken by Zaheer or the Red Lotus, or any other fictional villains for that matter. Now with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get to the debate at hand. Starting with, just what the heck was Zaheer talking about anyways?
You're gonna give me some answers.
I'll answer whatever questions you have. You deserve that much. What would you like to know?
Zaheer describes himself as an anarchist, or someone who believes in the dissolution of governments, tyrants, and idols. More on that last one later.
So we lucky few, this band of brothers and sisters in anarchy, are witnessing the beginning of an era of true freedom. Together, we will forge a world without kings and queens, without borders or nations, where a man's only allegiance is to himself and those he loves. We will return to the true balance of natural order.
Which, taken on its own, might sound pretty radical. But when you compare it to the core beliefs of the airbending nomads, the ideas line up pretty well, albeit taken to its most extreme outcome, of course.
Air is the element of freedom. The air nomads detached themselves from worldly concerns and found peace and freedom. Also, they apparently had pretty good senses of humor.
Hello.
Hey, it's Zaheer.
Oh, hey Zaheer.
Glad I caught you at home.
Oh, very funny.
But back on topic, what Zaheer is getting at is the world's true balance is one of a state of nature, or a world without laws, authority, or anyone telling you what you can or can't do. We actually see a version of this very briefly during the time of the first Avatar, Wan.
He'll banish you to the spirit wilds.
Oh, don't get banished. You don't want nothing to do with those spirits. They'll get inside you, scramble up your mind, turn you into this, a monster!
We're going to be out in the wilds for a week. You wouldn't last 2 seconds.
While chaotic and hectic at first, eventually Wan was able to establish a new form of balance and experience true freedom from authority. Zaheer was attempting to re-establish that state of nature in the Earth Kingdom, although with much less success.
I can't believe it. The upper ring is in chaos.
Don't try to stop us. We're taking back what's ours.
Stop you? I'm gonna join you. I know where the good stuff is.
Ironically, this caused the exact opposite of what he was hoping to achieve, the birth of a police state and the rise of Kuvira.
Pledge your loyalty to me, and I'll give you a new purpose in your lives. Of course, if you don't want to join, you could always stay right here. Hopefully, someone saves you before the next train speeds through. But I wouldn't count on it.
No, we'll join. Don't leave us here.
We pledge our loyalty to you, Great Uniter.
In the world of Avatar, there's often a very strained relationship between those with power and those without. You could be a simple farmer, living a humble life in the countryside, but leave yourself open to raider or bandit attacks. Alternatively, you could be a merchant, living in one of the big cities like Ba Sing Se, and be protected from such threats by walls and guards. But let me ask you this, who, in either scenario, is more free? During the 100-Year War, we saw constant corruption from state officials. The Dai Li, originally founded to protect the cultural heritage of Ba Sing Se, were used as secret police. They were utilized to round up any political dissidents or anyone willing to speak out about the 100-Year War.
There is no war within the walls. Here we are safe. Here, we are free.
But that didn't suddenly stop once the war ended either. 70 years later, they're still rounding up Earth Kingdom citizens, this time to be a part of the Earth Queen's private airbending army.
Welcome to Her Majesty's Army, 1st Airbending Regiment. From now on, You live to fight for the Earth Queen.
And if you're thinking, well, at least there was only brainwashing going on in the Earth Kingdom, then I hate to burst your bubble, but the Fire Nation was doing it too.
What year did Fire Lord Sozin battle the Air Nation army? Kuzan?
Is that a trick question? The air nomads didn't have a formal military. Sozin defeated them by ambush.
Well, I don't know how you could possibly know more than our national history book, unless you were there 100 years ago.
I'll just write down my best guess.
Although not quite as blunt as the Dai Li, the Fire Nation was attempting to subtly influence their citizens by rewriting history and making airbender nomads look like anything other than victims. Unfortunately, that's only the tip of the iceberg. As we see later on in the series, the propaganda and brainwashing goes all the way to the top.
I've learned everything, and I've had to learn it on my own. Growing up, we were taught that the Fire Nation was the greatest civilization in history, and somehow, the war was our way of sharing our greatness with the rest of the world. What an amazing lie that was. The people of the world are terrified by the Fire Nation. They don't see our greatness. They hate us, and we deserve it. We've created an era of fear in the world, and if we don't want the world to destroy itself, we need to replace it with an era of peace and kindness.
One of the big issues with authoritarian rule, if not the biggest, is that there's often no system of checks and balances, i.e. what the boss says goes, usually without any repercussions. Zaheer even brings up this abuse of power in regard to Fire Lord Sozin.
It wasn't too long ago that the airbenders were nearly all wiped out, thanks to the Fire Lord's desire for world dominance. True freedom can only be achieved when oppressive governments are torn down.
Even if someone wanted to speak out against the notion of declaring war against the Air Nation, they would have likely been silenced, or worse. The Fire Nation isn't alone in that regard though. Kuvira, while trying to reunite the Earth Kingdom, started assembling a massive army to help stave off bandits and re-establish order.
They might call you the Great Uniter, but you're destroying everything. I'll never turn the great state of Yai over to you.
You have a lot of pride, but it cannot protect your people. Your pride will not stop the hordes as your city crumbles to the ground. And your pride certainly will not feed your hungry when all that is left is rubble. You will perish, unless you take my generous offer.
This too would sour as she started turning citizens into slave labor and shipping off dissenters to re-education camps, not unlike what the Dai Li did several decades before. In addition to a physical power over their citizens, the Earth Kingdom has also demonstrated a psychological dominance as well, by enacting laws that commodify regular citizens.
Those people should not be forced to join an army.
Well, technically, the Earth Queen has a right to conscript her citizens.
Or becoming a permanent presence in people's homes and forming a cult of personality.
We're rolling out!
Wait! Okay, let's go.
And last, and certainly not least, Unalaq. While leader of the Northern Water Tribe, Unalaq attempted to seize control of its sister tribe in a bid for dominance. Unalaq also fused himself with Vaatu and nearly plunged the world into 10,000 years of darkness. And if that isn't a metaphor for something, then I don't know what is.
So he betrayed you, just like he betrayed me.
Yes. He allowed me and my friends to remain imprisoned while he pursued his own selfish goals. Unalaq becoming a dark avatar was never part of our mission.
Time and time again, throughout all ages of Avatar, we are shown that absolute power corrupts absolutely, which unfortunately brings us to the final tenet of Zaheer's beliefs and the real reason we're here.
Once we administer this poison, your body will naturally react, forcing you into the Avatar state in an effort to keep you alive. Sadly for you, you'll be entering it for the last time.
No! The Avatar cycle!
Yes. When we dispatch you in the Avatar state, the cycle will end. And though you will never again be reborn, your name will echo throughout history. Korra, the last Avatar.
If being born the child of a king or queen is like winning the lottery, then being born the Avatar is like that, but also having access to your own nuclear arsenal. It's indisputable that the Avatar is the most powerful person of whatever age they're born into, whether it's single-handedly stopping natural disasters, causing them. Heck, Avatar Kyoshi made herself an island to get out of talking to someone she didn't like. That's nuts! But more so than their physical power, the Avatar has diplomatic power to do whatever they want in the name of balance. Negotiate settlement disputes between two world leaders? Check. Demand an audience with a world leader and evade persecution when they've forced themselves in? Check. Enact justice by depowering an out-of-control, blood-bending mob boss? Check again. Keep the spirit portals open, letting humans and spirits intermingle, including this guy?
Someone is going to kill them!
Check. Whereas before you could make an argument that world leaders are kept in check by the Avatar, the same could not be said about them.
You're our prisoners, and it's our duty to transport you to the Earth Queen.
You realize that I'm the Avatar, right? You don't want to fight me.
And just imagine how much power these two forces would gain if they were to suddenly work together. Picture this, an Avatar and a king. Technically a Fire Lord, but whatever. Both are raised under similar circumstances. Both believe their nation to be the greatest in the world.
Right from the start, I was destined to be Fire Lord. And although we didn't always know it, you were destined to be the Avatar. It's an amazing stroke of fate we know each other so well, isn't it? Together we could do anything.
Yeah, we could.
Our nation is enjoying an unprecedented time of peace and wealth. Our people are happy, and we're so fortunate in so many ways. I've been thinking, we should share this prosperity with the rest of the world. In our hands is the most successful empire in history. It's time we expanded it.
In the main series, Roku was able to reject that temptation, but with a slightly different upbringing, perhaps different teachers or mentors, that answer could have easily been yes. And speaking of the Avatar working hand in hand with monarchs, remember the Dai Li from earlier? They were established by none other than Avatar Kyoshi. Oof, not a good look.
That's rough, buddy.
So to recap, what exactly was Zaheer trying to say? So long as the government can kidnap their citizens or control the flow of information, no one is truly free. That power corrupts, and when given the chance, tyrants will always seek to abuse that power. Lastly, while the Avatar has never truly gone rogue before, the chance always exists, and that is something worth fearing. Now, if you're thinking, that'll never happen, it's impossible, then I only have one question for you.
Have you ever read the poetry of the great airbending guru, Lahima? Lahima once wrote, "Instinct is a lie, told by a fearful body, hoping to be wrong."
What's that supposed to mean?
It means that when you base your expectations only on what you see, you blind yourself to the possibilities of a new reality.
But what do you think? Did Zaheer have a point, or was he just full of hot air? Would you like to see us explore more debates in the future? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to like and subscribe for all things Avatar.
You see what I did there? I put a sock in it. Literally.